this is great. We are off to a stellar beginning, people. Welcome.
Oh, God.
Whitney just broke her kneecap. In addition to her broken football or whatever, the ball of her foot.
My footballs are totally broken. Oh my God. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Welcome. We're recording again. We were just like 10 minutes in and Whitney realized we weren't rolling. So, hey, I'm Amy.
I'm Whitney, and we are on the hunt. Welcome again.
Yeah.
Did you watch Dateline?
Yeah, we're just going to try to remember what we talked about.
We already talked about that, but you should.
Yeah, or the thing about Pam. Did you watch the series finale?
So good.
Give you a little piece of what Troy, Missouri's like.
Yeah, pretty sad. It's a sad state of affairs.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
No, it's really not.
It's actually a nice little community, and there are a lot of organizations that do good around here.
Are.
I do want to just put that out in the world. I do see a lot of the good happening.
Yes, that's for sure. For sure.
Please don't judge us simply based on
but
the
you
thing
can
about
judge
Pam.
You can judge Leah Askey, allegedly.
Yes, and Pam Hupp.
Oh, yes, please.
100%. Yes, she did stab herself with that pin. What an idiot. And then they put Mac.
I couldn't hardly watch that scene with Renee Zellweger. The sound is so gross.
Well, then I had to wait to watch the season finale till Jamie got home because he's been into it with me.
Oh, good. That's
As
fun.
we're watching the season finale last night, he's like, "Yeah, I didn't realize that was Renee Zellweger."
I mean, I could see.
Well, what?
We know her.
And then he didn't know all of that stuff really happened. He thought it was being dramatized.
Not at all.
I'm like, no,
not
this
a single
legit happened.
Yeah, no, I can't. Other than the language and things that people are saying to each other,
right?
Nothing was dramatized.
No.
The stuff that happened in the court, the whoa.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my gosh.
Just like, I don't know, shock her.
Why isn't the judge like, shut up?
Yes, you're an idiot.
Stop talking.
Zip it.
Oh my gosh.
And again, it wasn't like parodied. I think some people think it was making fun. It wasn't. They're making fun of Pam Hupp.
Yeah, and
she
her
deserves
ridiculous
to be made fun of. She's
explanations for things.
Yeah.
This man with a traumatic brain injury jumped at me and chased me down, and it's like
it's a roundhouse kick in the air like a ninja.
Right? No, Pam.
And then I remember seeing on something too I listened to, like that 911 call she made. A lot of people don't realize before it says 911, what's your emergency? They're already recording, so they caught nothing was happening. So sorry,
Silence.
I think that just jumped again. So it's like no one's buying your story.
No.
Ma'am.
And I know there's a lot of like commentary about Renee Zellweger wearing a fat suit and how they could have just hired a plus size actress, and I get that. And she also played the heck out of that role.
Yes, she did.
I mean,
the whole thing was very well
She was
cast.
her.
Yes.
Like without a doubt. So.
And maybe she's like a super huge true crime fan. Yeah. And this was like, she was like, this is NBC for crying out loud. You know what I mean? Like she could have.
They produced it, I feel
things.
like.
Probably.
I feel like she produced it.
Sounds right.
Well, and having Keith do the voiceover, it was like spectacular.
100%.
He comes for Leah Askey in that Dateline that aired last night, Friday, the 15th, I think. Comes for her. Some people say you have blood on your hands. And she's like, well, yeah, some people do say that. Okay.
Thank you for agreeing. Keith Morrison, who's never wrong.
Keith laughing in her face. I was like, oh my gosh. I could not go on with my life.
If Keith Morrison laughed at me, that would be
in my face
me.
at you, like, really? Well, there was enough evidence. Are you kidding? I was like, Keith, yes. Also, Keith, does he just like apply a lot of self-tanner? He's so tan.
I don't know.
Isn't he the one who's married to
Matthew Perry's mom?
I know.
What a small world.
That's so random.
It is so random.
How old is he?
He's got to be 80s.
I mean, honestly. But maybe not.
I don't know. Or maybe he's just been in the sun a lot. I don't know.
Maybe he has a house in the Caribbean.
In Florida or something.
Yeah.
I go to Florida.
How much money does he make doing that?
I don't know.
He's been on it for 100 years.
Yeah, Keith Morrison, what's your net worth?
Honestly, any time I would watch Dateline and it's not him. Although there's that other guy who's, I don't know if he's Italian, but he seems Italian to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
That guy, I like him too. Oh, and then there's, anyway, I can't.
Yeah, there are a lot. That's the problem. There's too many, like,
there's a lady.
yeah.
And then there's the black guy.
Lester Holt.
Lester Holt. He's good, too. Yeah. Anyway, Dateline. What a show.
It is.
God, I love it.
Doing things.
Doing the things. Oh, I read a book called All the Pretty Girls, as I mentioned before, but you didn't hear it. It's very graphic and kind of disturbing. But if you're into that, read it. It's by Karen Slaughter.
Right. And then I watched the show based on her other book.
Pieces of Her.
Toni Collette.
Toni Collette. She's so great.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
She's like bad in that too. Like bad to the bone.
Wasn't it her that was in the movie where by the same, it's like Midsummer, but then there's this one too.
Hereditary.
Oh my God. That's her, isn't it?
Yeah, that was
she's
her.
on she's like, was it the daughter that's on the ceiling? Anyway,
Hereditary.
Hereditary.
I don't even remember. Hereditary was blew my mind.
I enjoyed it.
No, I'm not saying it in a bad way.
Yeah.
It was one of those I didn't know what I was going to see when I went to see it. And I was like, oh, not what I was expecting.
And it's a movie that will go there. It will go to those places where you're like, no, they won't do that. Oh, they did that.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay,
Definitely.
Great. Midsummer, though, I was like, this is too weird.
Yeah.
I read something, though, about like why it's such a weird movie because it's like bright sunlight the whole movie. It's never dark in the movie, which I was like, okay, I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
And so all these horrible things happen like in the bright sunlight, which in most movies it would be dark and scary.
Yeah. I never read that much into anything I watch, so.
Oh, I'm always on IMDb like looking at the trivia, like a total nerd. Anyway.
Yeah. And I read Where the Crawdads Sing.
And
finally, 100 years late to the party.
I still haven't read it.
Great.
It
was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was super fast read.
Yeah.
I got through it in no time, but I just don't.
I got through it in no time. I'm a super fast reader.
Was. Well, if something,
I know.
I mean, it was one of those.
It's a Janet Ivanovich.
You don't have to be 100% concentrating when you're reading.
Yeah.
It was like one of those kinds of books. And I totally predicted what was going to happen, so it just wasn't.
Yeah. I haven't read it still. I have it at home, so I will at some point.
Well, you're wearing your hashtag Free Britney shirt, so the news on the streets.
Having a baby, you guys. I can't even.
Which was so cryptic at first, because I'm like, is it a food baby or a
I
real
know,
baby?
I know.
But then all the outlets started reporting on it.
I know it. And then Britney, God, her Instagram just kills me.
I know. And then thank God for the Notes app. Or she'd never be able to post anything. It's just
Britney, you can
screenshots.
just post that in the caption, girl.
I know, but it's just screenshots of her Notes app.
With all the
pages.
emojis. I love I know. The last one, I read the first page and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, about her having a fever and then her son having a fever.
I wasn't following this. She didn't graduate high school, you all.
Yeah,
or maybe she did, like on the, on
tutor.
tour. Yeah.
Online.
It's not the same.
No.
God bless her.
It's really not.
She's America's sweetheart, okay?
Yeah.
But the
Good
Notes
for
app.
her. I get a chance to actually raise her child.
Yes.
Hopefully, without any,
I just hope Sam's in it for good reason.
I mean, he's been there.
Yeah, he seems like a good
for
guy.
a lot of years.
He seems like a good guy. Yeah. What I see on Instagram.
God. I mean.
But yeah, Brittany, we love you. You're amazing.
Me too.
Wishing
please
you write
all the best.
She's writing a book allegedly. I will die. Please go on Oprah or like Drew Barrymore. Did you see how she was like, Drew Barrymore is one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in real life?
And then Drew Barrymore was like, oh my gosh.
I know. And then everyone's like, go on Drew's show and have your tell-all. Drew's so sweet.
Maybe I'd rather her be on Drew's show. Oprah's getting a lot of blowback right now for like being the person that like discovered Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz.
Well, yeah.
But you know what? Like
she didn't tell them to go on down those paths.
No,
they didn't used to be like this. You know,
they used to just be there for some advice.
Yeah,
you know?
like 20 years ago or whatever. They were just,
and she's human. Okay, she can't.
Is she though,
dude? I don't know.
Superhuman.
Maybe not.
Yeah, Drew's sweet. I like Drew Barrymore. So okay,
she just seems so real,
and she's also like a child. Star. Yeah. I feel like she could probably
who like went through it with the
at like
child
13.
Yeah, even younger. She was like getting drunk and high and stuff at like 11. I think.
Oh, it's so sad. She's so amazing though. Look at her now.
Yes, wasn't she at like Studio
54
when she was a child, like literal child? There? She just went in with her mom.
Oh my
God. So. Okay. Anyways, that's not why you're here, but we always have to have our e-news corner. So my topic today is Once again.
EVPs.
Whitney and I have captured EVPs before, but
we have.
When I told it when it wasn't recording, that wasn't even that interesting. I'm not going to bore you with it now. It's kind of lame, actually.
See, maybe recording a second time is good. We can stop saying stupid stuff like
edit ourselves.
Me pretending to talk to my dead mom.
Yes. None of you will be surprised to hear that the only time we ask Chris to edit anything is if we like curse or say something we think might be like interpreted as insensitive by a particular group. Otherwise, it's just goes.
Or Amy forgets she's already done a story.
Yeah,
and we have
which all he had to do was edit out the pause.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're so good at, this software.
So anyways, you get us unfiltered at all, which again comes as no surprise.
You already know. Go, please.
Okay.
Please read.
Okay, so this is straight from Wikipedia. I don't know if I go beyond Wikipedia because I'm having to read on my phone this week because my iPad hates me. So, EVP is a waveform of white noise plotted on a graph within ghost hunting and parapsychology. I should have been a parapsychologist.
Oh my gosh, I know. I
can't imagine you make any money.
No, but my dream would be like we together teach at a university. It's like
we
super
are
old.
The next Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yes, it's like a super old university, Harvard or something.
Yeah, I'm sure Harvard would be knocking down our door.
They're like, excuse me, could you please start our parapsychology department? Why, yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
Will you give me an honorary doctorate, please?
But instead, it's just like John Wood Community College sending us rejection letters. Like, no, we don't.
This is a fantasy, Amy. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
We're there. We have an office together filled with books.
Oh, I had a kid the other day tell me that that's what he wants to do after he graduates high school is get super into like paranormal stuff. I'm like, well, if you get a TV show.
Please call me.
Call me, and my lower third has to say paranormal expert.
Yes.
Like, that is my dream in life.
Well, because we are. I mean,
100%.
There is no certificate you get.
No.
So, I mean,
or is there? If there is, tell us, because we'll get it. Where do we get? That become, like, ordained ministers online.
We should make that a thing where, like, we make the certificate. TM.
You can't take that.
We make the process.
Yes.
First you come to Whitney and
we like design the quiz and everything.
It's just like so stupid.
What is an EVP?
Who was Lincoln Todd?
Nope. No.
Mary Todd Lincoln. Anyway, God, please go on.
Okay, so EVP stands for Electronic Voice Phenomena. And they are sounds found on electronic recordings that are interpreted as spirit voices. Parapsychologist Konstantin Radiev, who popularized the idea in the 1970s, described EVP as typically brief, usually the length of a word or short phrase. Accurate.
Yes.
As we said earlier, but I don't know why I even have to say that because it wasn't for you. Usually when like you're watching a ghost hunting show and they're like, listen, the EVP says this. Well, then they planted that idea in your head. So then you're like, oh yeah, it totally says that. So, whatever.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
I believe. Enthusiasts consider EVP to be a form of paranormal phenomenon often found in recordings with static or other background noise. Yeah. Okay, moving on. As the spiritual religious movement became prominent in the 1840s and 1940s with a distinguishing belief that the spirits of the dead can be contacted by mediums, new technologies of the era, including photography, Mary Todd Lincoln. We're looking at you, girl. Were employed by spiritualists in an effort to demonstrate contact with the spirit world. So popular were such ideas that Thomas, we don't know. We had a whole discussion over what people called him.
And his day-to-day. Like, did his wife call him Thomas?
Yes. Thomas! Probably only when she was mad.
Yeah. You left the toilet seat up again. Did they have toilet seats?
I don't know. When was he alive?
Not that would do us any good.
No. Thomas, you left the door to the outhouse open again. I don't know why his wife is so like, rah.
She's so angry. You're always working in your workshop.
God,
with your lights.
You and your Edison bulbs.
Which are beautiful.
Yes. They don't seem very practical. They're very expensive.
I have them in all my outdoor lights, and it lights pretty well.
At you. Okay, you're so fancy.
Oh, I'm super fancy. There's one thing about me.
Jamie installed new lights in our garage, and it is like being in an operating room. It is so blindingly bright.
Your garage.
I'm like, why?
What's he doing out
I don't know. I feel like he must have got a good deal on them. And he's one of those, because I think he bought them on buy, sell, trade. Like he's
got light bulbs on
No, light. Actual light fixtures. He replaced the light fixtures in the garage, and it's so bright. I like open, because I go out, through my laundry room in the mornings, and I have all the lights off in there, and I open the garage door, and it's like, bah! Is this like what the light when you die looks like? This is ridiculous. And Keaton and I park in the garage. We both have white vehicles, so it's just like, bah! My retinas.
Oh, Jamie.
Oh, Keaton started rewatching Stranger Things since the new season's coming out in about a month.
Oh, my God, yes.
So... anyways, okay, Thomas Edison. Someone wanted him to comment on the possibility of using his inventions to communicate with spirits. He replied that if spirits were only capable of subtle influences, a sensitive recording device would provide a better chance of spirit communication than table tipping or Ouija boards. So Thomas Edison said, yeah, like
that's exactly what
it's a thing. It works.
Again, table tipping. So that's just when the table levitates.
Yes.
Okay.
When Keaton and I went to that reenactment seance or whatever, when they tried to tell me my dad was communicating, I'm like, well, is it a reenactment, or did I just bring my child to an actual seance?
What's he saying? Tell me what he's saying.
The table was moving and stuff was rolling, and I'm like, this is what we paid for.
Right.
And then some guy, I know exactly who they're talking about. That's my cousin who died in 1971. I'm like, shut up.
Right. And why would they just come and lift a table?
Yeah.
Wouldn't they try to say something?
Yeah. You would think.
And why is it called table tipping? It's not tipping. It's just lifting.
Yeah. Cow tipping is a thing. You're not tipping the table. Okay. Moving on. American photographer Attila von Schlotze.
Hold on. Did you hear the episode of, I don't remember if it was TCO or Obsessed with Disappeared, where they talk about cow tipping and Ellen's like, they can't get back up. And she went on and on for 30 minutes about how cows, if they fall over, they can't get back up.
I just can't. Don't hate me. I love you.
No,
it's not. Get into Obsessed with Disappeared.
It's not. Well, these aren't the ones with Joey. I don't listen to those.
Oh.
I only listen to the ones with Patrick.
I always start at the new.
You gotta start at the old with this.
Okay.
Because the ones with Patrick are great. Okay. But yeah, it's pretty great because she thinks they can't get back up and they just die.
Yeah, this week's TCO did the Gabby Petito.
I haven't listened yet. That whole story though.
So gross and infuriating.
Yeah, his parents. Why aren't they in jail?
Yeah,
for aiding and abetting.
100. They knew so much.
Of course,
everything.
Yeah.
All right. So photographer Attila von Schlotze. I don't even know. Szalay.
Yep.
Was among the first to try recording what he believed to be voices of the dead as a way to augment or argue his investigations in photographing ghosts. He began his attempts in 1941 using a 78 RPM record.
Oh.
I don't know.
Nope.
We have a record player. We have lots of vinyl.
The farthest back I go is cassette tapes.
Yeah. Keaton and I were at an antique store 2 weekends ago, and they had 8 tracks. I'm like, do you know what these are? Keaton's like, cassettes? I'm
She's
like,
so
no,
hopeful.
Close.
I'm
like, Keaton, these are 8 tracks.
Cleaning out my grandma's house, I found a lot of those. I'm like, why?
I remember us having an 8-track player as a child.
They were like, why were they so large?
I don't know.
Who knows?
And but rectangular.
I bet the first time someone figured out cassettes were a thing, they were just like, wow, it's so compact. Yeah. But then compact discs came.
Yes.
Even more. Then
there's a MP3 players.
I'll never forget.
Now the music just comes out of the cloud. I don't even understand.
It's like God.
Yes.
I'll never forget my first iPad or first iPod though. It was it weighed 30 pounds. I don't know why it was so heavy. It's like, is it heavy because the more music I put on, the heavier it becomes? That was
didn't
magical.
Understand technology.
No.
We still don't. I don't. Speaking for myself, clearly.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to get
to
talk to you on Messenger.
Yeah, I don't. Sorry.
She doesn't.
Well, somebody sent us a message the other day, so I clicked on it, and so that automatically switched our accounts switch me to On the Hot. But then I have to remember to switch back to my account.
Did I see
Because
this?
for some reason, my grandma only sends me her medical information via Facebook Messenger.
Why is it that... I'm sorry, old people always just want to talk on Messenger?
I don't know.
It's like a text.
And she does speech to text. So I have to like, and she's saying medical terms. I love you, Grandma.
You're like, what does that mean?
I can usually figure it out, though. So she does a pretty good job with it.
Eloise, you're so cute.
So it wasn't until 1956, after switching to a reel-to-reel tape recorder, that he believed he was successful. Working with Raymond Bayless von Schlochley, I cannot say. I don't know. How is it? How do you pronounce an S and a Z together?
I think you
One
just
of them
say
must
the
be silent.
I feel like you just say the Z.
All right, so Zele
Maybe that might be totally wrong. Shouldn't even say.
conducted several recording sessions with a custom-made apparatus consisting of a microphone and an insulated cabinet connected to an external recording device and
Like
speaker.
that?
Yeah, that's fancy.
Insulated you're just in a tiny cabinet.
Schlochley. No, not right. Reported finding many sounds on the tape that could not be heard on the speaker at the time of recording, some of which were recorded when there was no one in the cabinet. Was someone ever in the cabinet?
I think
What kind
so.
of cabinet?
It's like a recording studio.
Okay, didn't call it that. I mean, call it a cabinet.
Yeah, that's
weird.
confusing.
He believed these sounds to be the voices of discarnate spirits. Among the first recordings believed to be the spirit voices were such messages as, "This is G. Hot dog art."
This is G.
Hot dog art.
What? Did they have hot dogs then?
Yes.
Really?
This was like the 1950s.
Oh,
Yes, they had
okay.
hot dogs.
When were hot dogs?
I don't know. Nathan's hot dogs.
Hot dogs
Coney
are so
Island.
delicious.
I love hot dogs. I just bought some
Oh my god.
Hebrew National 97%. They shrivel up so easily, though. You can't cook them for hardly long at all because
So
they're so
good.
fat free. And then like some, I don't know, keto hot dog buns. Like I'm just ruining it all. Whatever. And listen,
You know,
people.
hot dog buns gross.
I know, but they're
What's
only
it
like
made-
2 Weight Watcher points
What
or
is that
something.
made of?
I don't know. It's actually, it tastes like a bun.
Okay, well,
it's not
that's good.
bad. It's better than the gluten-free jazz my daughter eats.
No.
I finally had to buy her like gluten-free bread mixes because the bread she gets, which isn't even like a big bunny bread sandwich loaf. It's like, you know, you buy like the half loaves or whatever. Her gluten-free like half loaf of bread is $10 now.
Does she eat that much bread?
She eats avocado toast.
Of course she does.
Hey, at least she makes it herself.
I mean,
though,
yeah.
and doesn't buy it.
Yeah.
She went on a trip this week, first away trip of her life, and spent like $150 on DoorDash for over the course of 2.5 days. But whatever. Listen, where we live, people,
It's not a
you
thing.
can't even have anything delivered. There's not even pizza delivery where we live. So
the novelty of that.
yes, was clearly through. She was even having cookies delivered.
Yeah, why
what
not?
a weirdo. So, and they also said Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all.
And
that's really long.
a new hot dog or whatever.
And hot dog art.
Oh, hot dog art.
But art is capitalized, so I guess they're saying hot dog art. Who's Art? Wasn't that the name George Costanza when she was Art Vandelay?
God, I love George Costanza. Seinfeld's such an amazing show.
Oh, it never gets old.
If you haven't watched Seinfeld in a while, go back. Give it a listen.
I freaking love Seinfeld.
Elaine.
Did you see the lady that played Jerry's mom just passed this week?
Oh, that's sad.
I mean, she was like 90-something, so good for her.
Good life. I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She's
So Von Schlozzy, we're going with Schlozzy now, and Raymond Bayless's work was published by the Journal of American Society for Psychical Research.
That's a journal?
Yeah, we should subscribe.
We should.
In 1959, Bayless later went on to co-author the 1979 book Phone Calls from the Dead. In 1959, Swedish painter and film producer Fredrik Jurgensen was recording bird songs. Okay. Fredrik.
Lame.
Yeah,
Get
your fun at
a
parties.
girlfriend or a boyfriend. or
a
both.
partner. Upon playing the tape later, he heard what he interpreted to be his dead father's voice and then the spirit of his deceased wife calling his name. He went on to make several more recordings, including one that he said contained a message from his late mother. Konstantin Radiv, a Latvian psychologist who had taught at the Uppsala University in Sweden and who had worked in conjunction with Jurgensen, made over 100,000 recordings.
Oh my God.
That's a lot, which he described as being communications with discarnate people. Some of these recordings were conducted in the RF screen laboratory and contained words Radiv said were identifiable. What were they? That was anticlimactic. In an attempt to confirm the content of his collection of recordings, he invited listeners to hear and interpret them. He believed that the clarity of the voices heard in his recordings implied that they could not be readily explained by normal means. He published his first book, Breakthrough, an amazing experiment in electronic communication with the dead, in 1968, and it was translated into English in 1971.
Wow. Schlosslenberg or whatever.
So now let's go to 1980.
We're getting to the good times.
We are. We're getting to Stranger Things days. William O'Neill constructed an electric audio device called the Spiricon. O'Neill claimed the device was built to specifications which he received psychically from George Mueller, a scientist who had died 6 years previously.
Well,
that's amazing.
That's very amazing.
Yes, that's like when George Washington came back to do whatever in your story at Gettysburg.
George Washington.
At a Washington, D.C. press conference on April 6, 1982, O'Neill stated that he was able to hold two-way conversations with spirits through the Spiricom device and provided the design specifications to researchers for free. What a philanthropist.
You could have TM'd that and made lots of money.
100% O'Neill. Maybe he made O'Neill like surfwear. Doubt it, but whatever. I don't know. Isn't that a thing? O'Neill?
Yeah,
I don't know.
However, surfwear.
I don't know. I'm so lame.
We surf a lot here in Missouri.
We surf the
Mississippi.
internet. Ew. Mississippi's gross.
So gross. So many dead bodies.
There's so much just gross stuff.
It's so much sewage also.
It really is. Like, don't eat the fish. Allegedly. Just go catch him. Just go catch him in your little pond.
People swimming out there are just like, ugh.
Yeah, people are like, I'm going to the sandbar this weekend. I'm so cool. I'm like, I hope your shots are up to date because
get a tetanus.
Get all the shots.
People, when there's flooding around here too, they're just like all playing in
yes,
and you're like, no, the sewage is backing up. You're playing in that.
And it's not a pool.
No.
That's runoff water from God knows.
Sewage treatment plants. Yes. Literally, it's this because it's, oh God. Yeah. There's children. I'm like, get your kids
called the muddy banks of the Mississippi for a reason. Stop.
Yeah.
Ugh, so gross. I unfortunately grew up on the river because I don't know. My dad was a partier, okay?
Be in the boat.
And I witnessed people vomiting in the river.
Yeah, peeing, pooping.
Doing it all.
Doing it in the river.
Ew.
I don't know.
I never witnessed that.
Thank God.
But I remember one time
traumatized.
We were like at the sandbar and I like stepped on something and sliced my foot open. And I'm like, Dad, I'm bleeding. And Dad's like, you're fine.
Stick it in the river.
Yeah. Yeah. That should have been my like meme I created. Remember when everyone was like, I don't need a vaccine. I cut my foot in the Mississippi River.
You like develop superpowers.
Yes.
Mud girl. That's what it is.
Marsh girl. That's what they call the girl in Where the Crawdads Sing. Which just makes me think of like way back in the day on Days of Our Lives. The girl that was Hope was Swamp Girl or something along those lines.
Well, there were so many hopes, weren't there?
And there were so many storylines. There were so many.
I only remember Marlena becoming a demon.
That was fantastic.
So great.
Yes.
My granny came down to watch this. That, as a very devout Catholic, was horrified.
I'm sure.
Why is this on the television? I'm like, it's not real.
Yeah, it's just the Days of Our Lives.
I mean, look at her. It's ridiculous.
It really was.
It's so great, though.
Her contact lenses. They were ahead of their time now.
Oh, the 90s.
Deirdre Hall.
Oh.
So O'Neill's partner retired. Retired industrial journalist George Meek attributed O'Neill's success and the ability of others to replicate it to O'Neill's mediumistic abilities, forming part of the loop that made the system work. In 2020, Kenny Biddle wrote a comprehensive article explaining the origins of the Spiricon developed by O'Neill and Meek. He was prompted to do so by the reemergence of the device on the television series Ghost Hunters.
Yeah. We met them.
We did. The original cast.
Yeah. I don't know who these people are now.
No.
Where's Grant?
He has his own show, I think.
Does he?
Yeah.
Well, I just would really love to know, number one, why he left. Like, something happened.
Yeah, they had to have a...
Yeah. And number two, when we read his book, I would love to know, there's some story as to why he got into ghost in the paranormal, but he would never say. Yeah. And I'm like, what was it?
What happened?
Yeah. Was it like that traumatic? Or is there no story?
Yeah, maybe that's it. No. He had to sell the book. Another electronic device specifically constructed in an attempt to capture EVP is Frank's box, or the ghost box.
I'm surprised that Zach doesn't have his own box.
Yeah.
Zach's box.
The Bacon's box.
It's just covered.
It comes with a 6-inch sub sandwich. I
was going to say some bagels.
It's just real bedazzled.
Oh my God, all the rhinestones.
So many rhinestones.
Oh my God.
And
Zach.
it just smells like Polo cologne.
No, like Axe.
Yeah.
You know?
And Axe.
Or Abercrombie, you know, or Affliction, you know? Me and Kyle were talking about Affliction shirts, and I was like, please, God.
Is that still a thing?
I don't think so. And I was like, please, God, tell me you didn't wear that in college. He's like, oh, yeah. I had all the Affliction shirts, and I was like, ew, it's so nasty.
God. And the hair gel.
Yeah, and he's like, well, actually, I don't think it was affliction because I was poor. It was afflaction. I was like, okay. He's so dumb. The dad jokes for days, you guys. Please pray for me. It's bad.
Yeah. I guess I should just be glad my husband's just blinding me with marketplace lights.
And not wearing affliction still. Did Jamie ever go through that phase of an affliction phase?
Jamie never had the body. Well, you had to be kind of like tall and, you know what I mean, right?
Oh yeah, well, Kyle.
I mean, there are people who didn't have the body, and they looked even more ridiculous than at least the people Jamie, who went to the gym.
You're saying Jamie knew better.
Yes.
Well, Kyle kept even going on. He's like, yeah, back then I used to work out like twice a day, and I had all these muscles, and I'm like, shut up. Do that now, then.
Yeah. No, please don't.
No, twice a day.
That's
excessive.
Yeah.
It's excessive.
Your wife has a broken foot. Have some respect.
Could you carry me around, please?
That's your workout twice a day.
Carry me to the refrigerator.
Then we'll take you to the Buckle and get you whatever shirts there are.
He talked about the Buckle. This is on our drive to the zoo. The kids are like, what's the Buckle? We're like, you don't want to know.
I know. I asked my kids like if we're ever at the mall. I'm like, do you guys have any desire to go in there? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, good.
It's just still full of Doc Martens.
Overpriced. And hey, I like Doc Martens.
I mean, yeah, but
I will be buying them at like DSW. Thank you.
Journeys. DSW for sure.
Yes.
Not the Buckle where they charge like double the price.
And are the salespeople still like
on commission
in your face?
Yes.
There? Because I used to shop at the Buckle as a teen. Yes. Like that's how long the Buckle has
They
been
throw
around.
More clothes over the door and when you're in the dressing room, you're like, I don't want any more. You're just covered in clothes.
Yes.
Please.
Like, can I take that to the front for you? Can I?
No.
I can only afford not even one thing. So
take your own ass to the front. Get out of my face.
Yes.
God.
Anyways,
they're coming.
Blah.
Sorry, one more thing. They're coming out with a new documentary about Abercrombie on Netflix. You see that?
Oh, I did not.
And about like all the drama, how they were, terrible to their employees and would only hire people that were 00.
We just got a text from Chris.
Oh, God. What did he say?
Oh, God.
Chris, real-time text from executive producer Chris, who's not a cat.
There are zombie Jesus treats for you both on the counter from Miranda.
Miranda!
We don't deserve
What's a
you.
zombie Jesus treat?
I don't know. We'll find out between episodes.
And I mean, Jesus did rise from the dead, which makes him sort of like a zombie. Was less gross though.
100%. Yes.
Cool. Thanks, Miranda. You're great.
We don't know.
We appreciate
he may have
you.
been gross. We don't know.
He wasn't. I bet he smelled like...
I would be, because that wasn't me throwing shade. I'm just saying, like, look at everything he went through before he was buried in that tomb. Like, no one expects you to smell like...
He smelled like...
Abercrombie and Fitch. It's okay, Jesus.
If Jesus had any smell, it would be Abercrombie and Fitch. Yeah. That place smelled great. I'm not going to lie.
No, I imagine Jesus just smelling like orange peels. And
you know what's funny? I was just thinking exactly the same thing. He had his Birks on, and he had oranges. Yeah.
And maybe a little, like, I don't know.
Sandalwood?
Patchouli oil.
Patchouli.
And
he's just smoking weed with
his Birkenstocks.
He's a hippie.
Jesus was cool.
Jesus was cool.
We should start our own, like, youth ministry. That's what our T-shirts say. Jesus was cool.
And then the kids are like, no one says cool. You mean lit? Jesus was lit.
Jesus was fire.
Do people say that?
I don't know.
We're 100 years old.
We are.
We should start a youth ministry.
Yes, that's exactly where we should go with this.
That's the funniest. We just have pictures of zombie Jesus. Yes. Jesus was my homeboy. Oh, good Lord, help us. Okay.
Listen, I like to think he would have liked us.
Well, he does like you.
He does like us.
Jesus loves you. Yes, you know.
For the Bible tells me so.
Thanks, Miranda. That's what we're trying to get to. Thanks. That's really kind.
Which
You're
is
so
awkward.
Sweet.
So anyways, the ghost box, whatever, was created by Frank Sumption. And you've seen the ghost box if you watch stuff. 20th century, blah, blah, blah. Let's see if I have anything besides Wikipedia, too, because this is just going off the rails. Demographics. So much. I literally copied and pasted
demographics of what? The
entire
people who
Wikipedia.
use?
Okay, here's from Live About. We like Live About.
Live About. Or live about. We don't know.
We don't know how it's pronounced.
Why does the English language have words that are pronounced different ways?
This is an article by Stephen Wagner. Electronic voice phenomenon. Well, we know what it is. One fascinating aspect of EVP is that the voices sometimes respond directly to the people making the recording. For example, the researchers ask a question, which happened to us.
That's true, yeah.
To which the voice will answer a comment. Yeah, it said something like, I'm right here, or you're next. I think that's what it said, you're next. Because I'm like, are you buried here? And it was like, you're next.
And we're like, ah! And then we peed our pants and ran away.
Well, no, because we didn't hear it until we
that's right.
listened back.
That would be really scary.
Yeah, you don't hear, fun fact about EVPs, you don't hear them in real time. You have to listen back.
Which is quite dangerous.
It really is.
Because it could be like, I'm going to kill you.
Yes.
It could be Thomas Edison's wife. Do the dishes,
Tom.
Good. You left the toilet seat up. She's just every wife.
Okay. EVP recordings vary by gender, age, tone, emotion, and even language. Yes.
Well, yes.
Some are more easily heard and understood than others. Most EVPs consist of single words, phrases, or short sentences. Well, yeah, because that probably takes a lot of energy.
Yeah.
They're made up of grunts, groans, growling, and other vocal expressions. I don't know.
If it was a Broadway star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The quality of EVP also varies. Some are difficult to distinguish, with meanings that are open to interpretation. Well, isn't everything? So the same could be said about Ouija boards.
True.
So, fun fact, there's an EVP quality rating scale. Class A...
we should have... Why didn't we invent that?
Yeah, means it's easily understood by almost anyone with little or no dispute.
Okay.
They're also usually the loudest.
Okay.
Class B, usually characterized by warping of the voice in certain syllables, lower in volume or more distant sounding than Class A. Class B is the most common type of EVP. Then you have Class C, characterized by excessive warping. Okay, so Class C
means crap.
Yeah, C means that heat kicked on. That's what noise you're picking up there. So what, of course, is the mystery no one knows? Some popular theories are... the first question was, where did the voices come from? Should have
the dead.
What? It says they are voices of the dead.
The other side.
This is why many researchers go to cemeteries seeking EVPs.
Like us, researchers.
Yes, we're researchers. We are paranormal experts. In this context,
so
We're getting business cards. It's official. Do people even hand out business cards anymore? Whatever. We're adding that to our website.
To people on...
We do have to get some photos, though.
We do, professionally done by Keaton.
And I was even thinking we could go, I won't give it away, but that, like, if you go through the little town that I live in, out on the highway, that cemetery is like the wrought iron.
Oh, yeah, down that.
Yeah,
that's
be a
great.
Good place.
Oh, yeah. What are we going to do? We're just, like, sexily...
I don't know what we're going to do. I mean...
Well, it'll be the most embarrassing thing of all time. Regardless of what we do.
Chin and hands.
Just glamour shot style.
Yes.
We literally...
Big hair.
Blue eyeshadow.
Very...
light
like dark lips
or frosted pink lips.
Can you even buy that? I don't know. We're just in Ulta trying all the stuff.
We just do our makeup there and then leave.
Yes.
They're like, you're not good at this.
You have to buy that.
You're really bad at that.
Shout out to Miranda at the Brow Bar at Ulta. You're amazing. So anyways, they're the voices of the dead. They're from another dimension.
Okay.
It's theorized there may be many dimensions of existence, and somehow beings from some other dimension are able to speak and communicate with ours via ECP. Is that supposed to be EVP? Is that a typo live about? A pertinent question, however, is how do they know English and other languages of our dimension? And another theory is they come from the researcher's own subconscious.
Oh, that's weird.
It's been suggested that somehow the researcher's thoughts are projected onto the tape. The voices are angelic or demonic in origin, or it's a hoax.
Nope. We discard that.
So some more of the history. We know about Tommy Edison already. Marcel Bacchi. Near the close of the 1940s, Marcel Bacchi of Grosseto, Italy, claimed to be able to pick up the voices of the deceased on a vacuum tube radio. Don't know
whatever
what
that is.
That sounds really bulky.
Vacuumy.
Father Ernetti and Father Germelli in 1952 were two Catholic priests, and they inadvertently picked up EVP while recording Gregorian chants on a reel-to-reel tape recorder called magnetophone. When the wire on the machine kept breaking, Father Germelli looked to heavens and... Why?
Technology sucks!
He looked to the heavens and asked his dead father for help.
What?
To the shock of both men, his father's voice was later heard on the recording saying, "Of course I shall help you. I am always with you."
Aww.
We talked about Friedrich, and we talked about Constantine. George and Jeanette Meek. Oh, well, we talked about them. They did the thing. Okay, so now let's go to how stuff works.
Oh, okay.
Like the best website for learning how stuff works.
So it's like how you figure out, how do you do it?
I guess.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I haven't read any of this.
No.
On January, a night in 2002.
What?
Well, this is going to be great.
On a night.
A group of paranormal investigators visited an abandoned mental hospital just south of Chicago. The hospital had a dark past. Before it was shut down in the 1970s, it had housed the criminally insane. Occasionally, the staff had executed criminals by electrocution. Uh-huh. If you're criminally insane, can you be executed?
I mean, they're not supposed to.
The whole point of like pleading insanity.
Right.
I don't know. The 70s. Wild times. Dazed and confused. The team of investigators walked through Manteno State Mental Hospital, recording both audio and video as they went. They didn't hear or see much while they were there, but when they reviewed the videotape, they discovered something quite startling. In the empty, powerless hospital, they heard very distinctly the sound of a female voice paging Dr. Martin.
Oh, weird.
The voice was recorded by the Southern Wisconsin Paranormal Research Group, one of the many research organizations around the world that study EVPs.
So basically we just need to make up a research group.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we know what EVPs are.
That's weird, though, that she was paging the doctor.
We know how EVPs work. Sorry, I'm just scrolling.
We do.
I don't know if I really have anything
EVPs.
else. EVP skeptics. We don't care about you. Okay, so what's this now? What's this article? I don't know. Picture of Thomas Edison.
We all know what he looks like. Actually,
I think that's all I have. But anyways, EVPs are great to have done.
Wow.
That's my final word.
They are great to have done. Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, thanks, Amy.
No problem.
Thanks, Amy, for that wild ride.
You're welcome.
Ooh, okay. Okay, everyone. My topic today is angels. Ooh. You know, it's Easter. That angel came and was like, yo, Jesus is back.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's fine.
Isn't that a song? There are angels among us. I feel like, I don't know. Hillsong probably wrote that.
Did you watch the Hillsong documentary?
I did.
Oh, my God.
Per your rec.
That guy, I cannot.
Ew.
Well, and then it got even worse. Like, I thought it was just going to be about that pastor, the Justin Bieber pastor.
Yeah,
but it got worse.
It went.
And you're like, whoa.
Although, and I didn't realize that they wrote all the, like, contemporary
they're great
gospel
songs.
music.
I mean, they're wonderful, and that kind of makes it suck because they're, like, that church is founded on terrible things.
Yes.
Of abuse, allegedly. Okay, so I'm going to tell you some true stories of angel encounters.
Okay.
I know.
My grandma has seen an angel.
Your Eloise, of course she has. She is an angel.
She is.
She's truly
Her
an angel.
and Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton. They are one and the same. They are very similar. Here we go. I have not read a single one of these. A guardian angel helped this poster, not a poster on the wall, a person who posted, avoid a deadly snake bite. Ooh. Okay, please help me. When I was in my 20s, I spent 4 years traveling the world. I was in South Africa, just outside Durban, and a friend had taken me on his motorbike to his favorite waterfall. Oh, to have a favorite waterfall. Yes. What is that like?
And to be taken to it on a motorbike.
Take me there, please.
On your motorbike.
We had both been swimming, but I got cold and went to sit on a patch of green grass. To get there, I had to step from the sand I was on over a log, then across a bit to the grass. I was walking medium speed and lifted 1 foot to step over the log when a very loud, booming, masculine voice shouted, "Stop!" Except the shout wasn't heard with my ears. It was inside my head. Oh, hard to explain. Also, there was nobody else around except Tim and I, and he was still happily swimming. I stopped, wondering what had just happened. I still had my foot in the air above the... See, I would have just kept walking.
Yeah.
He, like, stopped mid-step. Mid-steak? What?
Maybe he was eating.
Yeah.
Noshing on a T-bone as walking through the waterfall.
What a life this person leads. What a life this person, username Light Energy. Okay. I looked around and spotted what I thought was a leaf waving about 6 inches from my big toe. It took me a few seconds to realize that it wasn't a leaf, but a snake. A black mamba.
Ooh. I thought he was going to say like a water moccasin.
No, black mamba. Is that the one there? Maybe I've said this on the podcast already, but there's a video on TikTok of this guy and a toddler. They're like on their porch somewhere in some tropical country, because you can tell that there's like tropical type of things out.
Okay.
Foliage is what I'm trying to say.
Very rainforest.
Well, and the snake that comes is not like a snake you would see in the United States. Anyway, they're like out there. He's on a hammock just chilling. And suddenly the guy jumps up. He starts to run for the sliding glass door, leaves the kid, and then is like, oh crap, goes back to get the kid. And I mean, this snake is booking it at them. I've never seen a snake move that fast. It's huge, and it was coming to get them. Oh. I know. It's like.
Yeah, you don't usually... No, snakes are going to be the aggressor.
No,
you just think if you step on it, you're getting bitten.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, especially if you're just at home in your hammock.
Yeah, it was coming at him. It's one thing
if you're like out in their
territory.
Yeah,
it was coming at them. I don't know if it was a huge snake too, and it was one that its head was like up.
Yeah,
is that
my boys have encountered like water moccasins on multiple occasions, which are deadly.
I hate snakes.
I think aren't they deadly?
Yeah, well,
they're poisonous,
very poisonous. Venomous. Yeah. Okay, he had his head raised and was licking the air right near my toe. Oh.
Ew. Why is that licking you? I gotta sample this before I decide if I really want to bite it.
Well, that's how they sense, right?
I don't know.
They don't have noses,
so it's not like Sbarro, where they're like, "Here, would you like to try it?"
Or like a foot fetish thing. Give me a big toe, sir.
Gross.
He had his head raised and was he was waiting to see what my next move was to be, and he had seen me long before I seen him. Okay, blah blah blah. So he didn't step on it, and he lived. The end. Next one. A mysterious voice saved this girl's life. Who wrote the titles of these? These are terrible titles. My sister had a similar experience. To what? Okay. She was in a car wreck and her 70s grocery getter. What?
Like a station wagon?
I guess.
Is that what they used to call
the weirdest?
Okay. My G-Wagon. My grocery getter.
I just get all the groceries.
All the groceries.
Wow. Okay. Started flipping through the air. A voice loudly told her to lift her arms. She broke a bone in her hand, but she was told that doing that probably saved her life. Her hand took the brunt of the landing and she did not fall into her head. So lifting her arms in the air saved her somehow.
All right. So pretend like you're singing a Hillsong song. Lift your hands in the air.
Or wear a seatbelt. In the 70s didn't have them.
Angels among us.
She's doing praise hands, everyone. This poster narrowly avoided being drugged. God. Once I was with a small group of 4 stuck in very, very difficult circumstances without food. Okay.
Oh. Sounds terrible.
We would no doubt be rescued within 24 hours, but a lot could happen before that. One guy pulled out a box of 6 beautiful Belgian chocolate truffles from his jacket.
What? I would be that guy, I feel like.
That's very suspicious, though. Yeah. Oh, here you go. Here you are.
We're all maybe starving. With rescue nowhere near Belgian
It's
chocolate.
So weird. Okay. Wouldn't they melt in your jacket?
All that body heat?
Chocolate! I almost was reaching for one when I heard a voice inside my head scream, "Don't touch that." So I didn't. They were laced with LSD. Who would do that to chocolate?
Yeah.
It's rude. And we were trapped in a Central American conflict zone in the middle of the night. Nothing in my consciousness could have ever suggested to me that someone would do something so stupid under such circumstances.
Why are you there? Why are you trapped in a conflict area?
Well, he was saying like it's so dumb that you do LSD when you're in the middle of this.
Broke down palace.
Right. Again, we have to tell you about broke down palace.
Yeah, quit. Don't have anything
Stay
to do
at
with
home.
drugs and places.
Did they do the drugs or were they caught?
The guy put him in their suitcase or something.
That's right. Don't do drugs.
No.
Next story from Ariel 125. A guardian angel promised to make everything okay. About 20 years ago, my family was getting ready to move across the country for my dad's job, and my grandmother was worried sick. She was not elderly back then and in perfect health. She was in church, worried and praying we would be safe moving so far away. Suddenly, a booming voice echoed through the whole church. "I will take care of your family!" It says echoing.
Did the whole church hear it?
Oh, no. Oh. She shot up, looked around. No one else had heard it. No one. She knows it was God or her guardian angel telling her we would be okay. I like how it's echoing.
You got the feedback on that.
Okay, well. Well, were they okay, though?
Yeah.
Just wondering.
Well, apparently they're writing.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah. I'm writing this from beyond the grave. This guardian angel provided better, but not necessarily good, luck.
What?
Okay. Interesting.
Rude.
Maybe it's all they could get, okay?
Yeah.
That's maybe the best they could do. I've never been one. I've never seen one, but I've always had a feeling of being watched over or protected. I've been incredibly lucky in my life. Must be nice. For instance, not that I'm not. I don't know why I said it like that. Must be nice. I'm like, my life's like broke down palace.
Just toiling and so difficult.
For instance, I'm epileptic. Okay. Okay. And the first time I had a grand mal seizure as opposed to a petit mal seizure was when I was 15. I had it in the shower one morning while getting ready for school. Yikes. I hit my head on the faucet so hard that I knocked it loose, but came away from it with a mild concussion. That happened several times. Oh, gosh. And each time I just barely missed serious injury. When my insurance company and pharmacy gave me a genetic medication instead of the name brand that I needed, I had a seizure. This time I was driving in front of the big box retailer.
Walmart.
It says not Walmart. Target? Who else?
How long ago was this? Was Kmart still a thing?
Oh, God. Venture? You remember Venture?
Yes. Grandpa Pigeons?
No, I don't know what that is. Was that the name of a place?
Yes. I remember when I was really young, my dad would take me there.
Grandpa Pigeons. Okay, this place is always busy, and somehow I managed to not hit anyone and only hit a small tree. Well, that is lucky. Someone dropped the ball in the ER and didn't report the accident to the DMV, so I didn't lose my license. Oh my gosh. Well, maybe you should?
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be behind the wheel.
Yeah. Years later, I made the mistake of driving after a few beers. What? That's
so many bad decisions.
Yes.
Just stop.
And when a car stopped in the middle of making a turn, I lightly tapped them and went to jail.
Well,
are you sure
drinking and driving is
are you sure this is good?
Bad.
I learned my lesson and would never do it again, but that lesson could have been so much worse. There are other things, mostly small but meaningful events, that could have and should have been so much worse than they were. Okay, anyway, I'm not sure that's your guardian angel.
I was going to say.
I think that you're just also making some poor decisions.
Your actions are having consequences.
Yes. This next one's called Not Everyone Got to Have a Guardian Angel. Ooh, ominous. Where am I here? Okay. A few months back at a family gathering, after a few glasses of wine, my mom shared this story from when she was a kid. She and a childhood friend were walking home from school one day and about to cross a country road that was normally deserted. They'd been warned to be careful around that road before, but being kids never thought much about it. Kids. On one occasion, she said they got to the road and she was overcome with a sense of dread. She felt rooted to the spot as if something was literally holding her in place. Her friend started crossing without her, and a guy in a truck happened to be speeding along, not paying attention, and ran over her friend.
Oh, jeez.
She later died in the hospital. My mom sincerely believes that her guardian angel saved her life that day, but that makes me wonder about the other little girl. Was her angel taking a smoke break or something? God. Well, I mean, it is there's questions, because terrible things happen to lots of people, you know?
Can't.
So, I don't know. There's still free will. Mm-hmm. So she maybe had those feelings, but was like, I'm going on.
And if you're a firm believer in, like, destiny, when it's your time, it's your time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Over here peeling my thumbnail, don't mind me.
This next one's called An Angel in a Cowboy Hat Provided Comfort.
Was it the Marlboro Man?
Was it Matthew McConaughey? I don't know why he's always wearing a cowboy hat in my brain. I don't know.
Though I've ever seen him in a cowboy hat. Well, he wore one in Magic Mike.
That's why. Magic. I mean, I can't wait for Magic Mike XL to come out. I love him. Oh, she's so nasty. Girl, you nasty. Ugh. Well, pretending like she was her and Betsy were
lovers.
Yeah, like
yeah.
I mean, I didn't do it, but like was like no homo about it. You know.
Yeah.
It's like, then what are you saying? Stop talking.
And then what she said, Russ called them.
Yeah. Which isn't a thing.
No. Jamie was just like, what? Like, no, you cannot start using that term.
Because it's not even a thing.
Seriously, guys, if you haven't watched the thing about Pam, just do it. And as you're watching it, remember, it's 100% true.
100%.
All happened.
That was so funny. Oh, Lord. Okay, here we go. Matthew McConaughey and Magic Mike is your guardian angel.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey creeped me out in that movie. I don't know why. I mean, he's still beautiful, but whatever.
But he's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
He creeped me out in Dazed and Confused.
He's just kind of a creepy guy.
They keep getting younger and I just stay the same.
Gross.
No, what is it? I keep getting older and they just stay the same.
Gross. What's his, all right. Mm-hmm. Why does he always say that? Like, why?
That was his... like improv line.
I know why.
I don't know.
And then it's just he's strange.
Well, I mean, it worked.
Yeah. Isn't he married to like a normal person? She's not a celebrity, which I always love.
I mean, she's beautiful.
Well, of course.
But yeah,
she's
Camilla Alves or something.
She's totally normal. Not really. Okay. My experience with spirit guardians happened this way. Okay. I was traveling west on a divided 4-lane highway. There were openings for turns in about every quarter mile. I don't even know what that means. It was 6:30 a.m. and raining, just enough to piss you off. Okay. A woman T-bones me on the back driver's side fender. I spin and come to a rest in the median. Out of nowhere, a guy shows up on my driver's side window. He has a large cowboy hat on. He says, "You're going to be okay." And he holds my hand. I ask him his name. He looks away like he doesn't want to tell me. Then he says, "Bill Hill." Okay. I smiled and said thank you. Another motorist who stopped called 911 and an ambulance is dispatched. When they arrive, he moves out of the way for the EMTs to get me out of the car. Get checked out and I get checked out and I get home with broken ribs and a shattered kneecap, which I had at the beginning of this podcast. A few days later, my mom takes me to see the car. What a wreck. I told her to help get some personal items from the car. When I looked in the back seat, there is the guy's cowboy hat. That's weird.
That is weird.
I told my mom about him, and we both proceeded to try and find him to thank him for being so kind. He never existed, and we lived in a small town of only a few thousand at the time. Well, he could have been traveling.
Yeah, he could have been just passing through.
Right. We checked with police, the churches, everywhere. How did his hat get in my back seat? He wore it the whole time. He held my hand and had the hat on when he got out of the way for the EMTs. I think he was an angel. Why would I have his hat? Do you still have it? I would have kept it.
Whoa, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Can't get rid of that.
Rub it when you need good luck.
Well, that's like, have you ever seen that picture of like the car accident and there's like an angel?
Yes.
So.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
I mean, except it looked like Bible angel. Like when you see like a illustrated children's Bible.
Yes, so it's probably
angel. It wasn't a cowboy.
Probably some good Photoshop situation there. Well, because if you watch like
Touched by an Angel.
No. No, that show's so bad. Well, was it? I think I watched Lucifer for a little bit before I was like, okay, this is too much. But the angels on there, I mean, their wings are like a bird's wings, you know, but they're so giant. But when you think of an angel, you don't think of it having wings like a bird, you know?
Yeah, with feathers.
Yeah, with actual feathers. Because, anyway.
Except John Travolta's angel.
Andina Dizem, Adele Dazim, whatever he said, that's still my favorite thing of all time. Like, why? Why would you?
Like, you knew that you had one job, but like you knew what you were doing.
And the way he said it so serious. Adele Dazim. Not even close.
No.
Not even sort of. John Travolta.
So messed up. She was like, is he talking about me?
She's like,
he is.
She's like, bitch, I was on Frozen and Wicked
and Glee.
I got things. I know stuff.
Original Broadway Wicked cast.
I know.
Elzeba.
I mean,
where do I know about this much? Okay.
Wonderful actress and Broadway star. Saved by an angel while rock climbing. This is why you don't rock climb. No. I was free climbing. Why? A 30-foot cliff face once. What? The face was mostly shale rock. Like, isn't that very breakable? And like, you know, like
chalky?
Crumbly?
Yeah. I don't know.
What are your hands? Are you wearing special gloves when you do this?
I would.
You're just
hope
like
so.
Your bare fingers.
It's just like Gorilla Glue.
Oh my gosh. I don't
understand.
Yeah. With printing.
You have to wear special shoes.
Definitely. I feel like you should have special gloves. Have like, I don't even know.
Yeah. Like some sort of.
I would never go rock climbing. I'm afraid of heights. I would die. 100%.
Or not free basing or whatever she said she was doing. Like I would want the.
Free climbing.
Yeah.
No
free
way.
I want.
Nope.
Harnesses and pulley systems and ratchet straps.
Someone attached to me that's actually climbing and I'm just like on their back.
Someone just pulling me up. And I'm like, look at me!
An elevator. Yeah. Can I have an elevator, please? Yeah, you'll never find me at Everest.
No.
What a joke. I was free climbing. Okay, we already know that. Mostly shale because I was young and dumb. Yeah. 2/3 of the way up, my left handhold broke free as I was reaching with my right, and I started to fall. Oh my God. You know that feeling when you are tilting back in a chair and you tilt just a little too far? Yes, I do.
Been there, done that.
Kyle reminded me yesterday. The last time we went to the zoo before yesterday, we were eating in the cafe, the like cafeteria. Why am I saying that? And he had his chair and he had a backpack on it and it went to fall. It like fell as he went to sit down, so he fell on the ground. People falling is always funny.
It really is.
And he jumped up because he thought there was like some dude sitting behind us. He thought they had pulled the chair out from under him. So he popped up like, what? And I was like, no. Don't get out a fight at this. And then we were looking at the hippo and Mandy went to stand on a rock and slipped and fell on her ass. It was so, I was like, I'm the only one who hasn't fallen today. See, that was my guardian angel. My guardian angel. Oh, man. It's so bad. bad when you fall because it's like so embarrassing.
Really, and someone always sees.
Oh, God.
Me, I remember one time I was at a concert. I was like running up the steps. It was like a really small venue, and I just like tripped on the step and fell. I was wearing like a Ouija board shirt. I thought it was so cool. The guy's like, "Oh man, are you okay?" You're like, "God, just don't talk to me. Just let me be."
Even at home, like, because I've fallen down my stairs many times, and my granny will come running. Did you fall? And I'm like, no, nope, did not fall. Totally fine. Good. What was that sound? Don't know. Weird.
House is falling in. Don't worry about it.
It's fine. It was not me falling down this whole flight of stairs like an idiot. Okay. All right, so this person's falling. That's horrifying. I started to fall backwards and everything got real slow. I knew I was going to die or at best be injured. I felt a hand gently pressed against my back, right between my shoulder blades. It felt like a perfectly normal right hand, and it pushed me back against the rock face.
Well, that was lucky.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
It's like, now, the angel's like, now get a rope!
Yeah. I can't do this every time.
This is exhausting. You're the guardian angel that gets assigned to a rock climber. You're like, oh, great. God. Can I
never sleeping again?
Can I get Amy, who just watches movies, and Whitney?
And trips at the occasional concert.
Right. They're just like worried about us getting bed sores. That's their biggest concern.
They just have to apply the salve regularly.
They're just like, apply the salve.
Or they're like, roll over. I'm like, oh, I just heard the voice of my guardian angel. Oh my gosh. It's miraculous. I should blog about this.
I should roll over. Put away the Cheez-Its. Our guardian angels have a harder...
so many crumbs in your bed.
But when Amy starts to drive, her guardian angel gets overtime.
I'm not even that bad.
She's not. Oh, God, our guardian angels are probably so funny. Great. So the person didn't die and they just went down. He also makes a good point of saying he wasn't on drugs. Great.
Should we start prefacing everything?
Hello, everyone. Today we're not on drugs. We're never on drugs.
Never on drugs. These things just happen. We don't know why.
Oh, my God. Okay. I was trying to see. Oh, this one's interesting. 2 angels frightened a would-be attacker away.
Oh. Vigilantes.
I know. And there's 2 of them? What are they doing?
Why do you get 2?
Right. Are you especially clumsy? A friend of mine told me about an experience his grandmother had when she was home alone once. Oh, well, she's a granny. She needs 2.
Yes.
You know.
One on each side.
Yep. In the middle of the day, someone knocked at her door. When she went to answer the door, don't ever answer your door.
No.
Drop to the floor immediately. Yeah. Army crawl to the bathroom, lock yourself in there.
Tell your dog to shut up.
Yeah. Or to go bite them if they come in. Just don't ever go to the door.
My dog can't bite. Her mouth's too little. But it's so funny because she thinks she's like, she like, anytime like, oh, it's the garbage man picking up the garbage can.
Way down there.
Away. And she's just like losing her mind. I'm like, what? I appreciate like the sentiment, but what would you actually do? Right. Nothing.
Yeah. Take a tiny...
Unless she breathes on him. Her breath is terrible.
Why are dogs gross? Okay. Poor granny. She was greeted by a man with a knife. Okay. Right. Well,
was it from the Dollar Tree, Pam Hop?
Yeah. I mean, keep it in your pocket until you get inside. Like, what are you doing?
Too big. I can't get
this. A knife or you have a
sickle in my pocket?
He's just sickle.
I don't know. Trying to think of a
Sorry, I was out cutting my wheat and I came straight from the field.
For you, Granny. Oh, this isn't funny. There are murderers out there. That's not
that cool. Use sickles?
I mean,
I've never heard of one.
It seems really efficient.
Yeah, just slicing off heads. I mean, isn't that what the Grim Reaper has?
Yeah.
I mean, why? They're already dead.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't he come once you're...
are flying out of my tissue.
Doesn't he come once you're... What the hell, Amy?
I told you I was peeling my fingernails.
Okay, long as it's not your dead skin.
No,
just there's Amy's skin everywhere.
Well, it was like...
No, I get
broken,
it. I hate
so
that.
I had to peel it.
One of my hands is green, okay? From dying Easter eggs. I am not judging you. Okay, so... He was ready to loot the place, but when he saw her, he went pale and ran away. He was later caught and answered in question about why he ran, and his response was, when the door opened, I saw 2 large and strong men standing behind her. Well, maybe they're her lovers.
Yeah.
Wow, Granny.
Magic Mike.
It's just Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey and Channing Tatum.
To this day, my friend swears it must have been 2 angels sent to protect her. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Way to go, Granny.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to read 2 more here. This one's...
How do you talk to an angel? 1990s?
I don't remember that. No.
Okay.
Sorry. This one's from Satanic Poodle. Why is that your username
I
on
don't
something?
know, but I like it.
On Ranker. This is from Ranker, by the way. An angel's touch left lasting bruises.
Oh.
My aunt had a similar experience when she rolled her Jeep as a teenager. Mid-roll, she was taken out of the Jeep and sort of floated or hovered over the road until she was placed feet first on the ground.
It's very, like, Matrix.
I'm just trying to picture.
Way to stick the landing.
There's, like, harps playing.
A glow.
Is she an
aura about her?
Oh my god! She later noticed she later noticed she had bruises resembling handprints on both of her biceps. Oh. Like they picked her up.
It's like, whoa,
lady,
gotcha!
God, you're a bad driver.
Or get it together.
Interesting, but she had no other bruises or scars. Last one. This one's a little creepy. This poster's guardian angel looked like her. Oh. This is my mom's story. When I was little, we used to live in an old house that was probably close to 100 years old. Anyway, I was around 3 or 4 years old at the time and was very sick. My room and my mother's room were right next to each other, and my parents had split up that year, so it was just my mom, my sister, and I in the house. She said that while everyone was asleep, she woke up to someone standing right in front of her around eye level with her while she was laying in bed. What? Oh, like a little person,
sure.
like a kid.
Yeah, like a kid. All moms have woken up to that at some point in time.
And it's a nightmare.
It is terrifying.
Actual nightmare.
Actually, it just happened to me the other night. It was Carter. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
You're like,
he was like, I was just letting you know I'm home.
You're like, I'm dead now.
He felt so bad. I don't know how. I must have reacted like mortified.
Braun!
But he was not at eye level, though. He's much taller than that now, just to be clear. At eye level still. No, but I'm lying down.
I know. Yeah, my kids are at eye. No, I said if he was at eye level.
Oh, okay.
Still, how funny.
I thought you said he is.
No, my kids are at eye level, and it's also Kyle. Our bed is like a piece of crap, and he made a new like base for our mattress, and it's like 20 feet in the air. I can barely get into our bed. It's so high. I'm like, why'd you
cheap? Just buy a bed.
He's like, I get it. I could build one of these. I'm like, fine, we'll do it then. So we did it, and I was like, what is this?
Gotta like get a running
tiny little
jump.
I need like some steps like a dog needs. God. So our kids are going to be at eye level for probably till they're 16 because it's so high in the air. Why? What is my life? And I'm like, yeah, literally can't get into it. Okay, moving on. So that's really frightening. So the person was around 2.5 feet tall. She said it looked like me exactly. But I was glowing white with but transparent and still. And the thing had long brown hair, which I did have, and was wearing a white nightgown. The night that she saw this, I had been very, very sick, and I wasn't turning around. I'm like, take her to the hospital. Yeah. After she blinked a few times, the someone, I don't know why they keep calling it that, dissolved, and she got up to check on me. I had a fever with shivers and was coughing and almost choking on my own mucus. She took me to the hospital right then, and the doctor said if she hadn't, I probably would have died from choking in my sleep or how close I was to catching pneumonia. My mom loves telling this story and truly believes that it was my guardian angel telling her it wasn't my time yet and that I needed her help.
Weird, though, that it looked just like her.
Yeah. Maybe it, was like, this will get the mom
Yeah, this will get her attention.
Yeah.
Just, here's your sign, Mom.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, good one.
That was that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So
check out our social medias.
Yes, go to our socials. You know them. If you don't, you can go to our website onthehauntpodcast.com and everything's there.
Keep watching for those new pics.
Yeah.
You could just watch. They're not happening. But one of these days,
they will be there. If you want to Facebook or Instagram message us your address, we will send you some cool stuff in the mail. We're sending something to Christina actually today. And Anna, because I already know her address, so I don't have to ask her for it. So be on the lookout in the mail, ladies. And that's, all. Send us an email on thehaunt@gmail.com.
Yeah. Bye.